Ever get that feeling, like your browser knows you better than your own family? Every click, every comment, it's all going somewhere, right? Well, today we're doing a deep dive on Black Glove, just your average Redditor. Or so you might think. Let's see what we can find. We're joined by our expert here to help us sort through all these digital clues. Maybe we'll learn something about what it really means to be you online.
It's a bit like digital archaeology, wouldn't you say? Trying to understand a whole person from these little pieces of their online lives.
Exactly. And we're starting with a real mind bender. Black Glove actually commented on a thread about AI and making profiles from people's data. They were wondering if you could build a whole robust profile just from what someone does on Reddit. Pretty meta, right?
Incredibly relevant, actually. Black Glove is already thinking about the very thing we're looking at. What someone's online activity says about them.
Okay, so they're aware of these digital footprints, but what do Black Glove's footprints actually look like? Well, for one thing, they seem to spend a lot of time around Wellington, New Zealand, talking about bus routes, local shops, even where to get a good baguette, that sort of thing.
And not just looking at things, but actually joining in on conversations, local events, community issues. They even congratulated someone who found a hidden treasure hunt item in, what was it, Riddiford Garden? This is
Right.
someone who's actively part of their community, both on and offline.
Definitely paints a picture of someone who's engaged, right?
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really interesting. They're also super into tech stuff, asking about hyperfiber, wanting crazy fast internet speeds. It makes you wonder, are they looking for that same fast pace in their offline life too?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? Especially when you see their comment about bus route, #24, how it's scenic but slow. Maybe they like different speeds for different parts of their life. Enjoying a relaxing bus ride one day, needing that instant connection the next.
So it's like they're comfortable mixing the digital and the real, not just one or the other.
Precisely. And that multifaceted personality, it shows up even more when you look at their comments about getting their par fixed. They were really happy with it, called it a glow up. Shows attention to detail, maybe an artistic side that goes beyond just the online world.
It reminds me of how people are with their Instagram, curating this image they want everyone to see. Think Black Glove's doing the same thing, just on a different platform.
It's possible, sure, but Reddit is different, isn't it? People feel freer to be themselves there, I think, sharing their real interests, opinions, without worrying so much about that perfect image.
So are we seeing the real Black Glove here? No filter, just all the different sides of who they are.
Maybe, maybe. But to know for sure, we gotta dig a little deeper.
So we got Black Glove, local Wellingtonian, tech enthusiast, maybe a bit of an artist too. But there's one more place we need to look. Their gaming life.
Right, their posts in that subreddit for Vigor.
Vigor, yeah. The one where it's like after the apocalypse and you're scrounging for supplies, trying not to get eaten by wolves, all that. So what kind of player is Black Glove in this post-apocalyptic world? Building a fortress, lone wolf, or maybe they're leaving gifts for other players.
Well, there's this one comment thread where someone's asking if they should focus on getting weapon blueprints or outfits, and Black Glove's response is, go for the consumable plans.
Consumable plants. All right, for those of us who haven't braved the virtual end of the world, what are we talking about here?
Basically, it means they're thinking strategically. Vigor has these blueprints for crafting things that give you an edge, like something to boost your stamina, or maybe a device that helps you track other players. They'd rather be prepared and resourceful than just focus on firepower.
So we're not just surviving, but really working the system, outsmarting the competition. Interesting. Does that strategic thinking show up anywhere else?
Actually, it does. Remember that comment about fake blood staining their clothes? The one that made us think, Halloween costume? Maybe they're into theater.
Yeah, it seemed like such a random thing to mention.
Exactly. But then, in another Vigor comment, Black Love talks about using fake blood as camouflage in the game. So it's not just a random thing, it's a pattern. They like using creativity, even a bit of theatricality, to get ahead.
Wow, I totally missed that connection. That's what I love about these deep dives. It's like we're solving a puzzle, finding these hidden links between totally different parts of someone's life.
And it all comes back to that question of being genuine. Is this all carefully constructed, or is it just who they are? This link between the fake blood comments makes me think that what we see online, even the random stuff, can actually tell us a lot about how someone thinks, how they behave in the real world.
So maybe Black Love's not trying to project some perfect image. Maybe they're just being themselves, letting different parts of their personality come out in different online spaces.
It's kind of nice to think about, isn't it? With all these curated profiles, highlight reels, you can still find someone who's genuine, multidimensional, just by looking at their online activity.
It makes you wonder what other hidden depths we could find if we just know where to look.
Right.
It's funny. We started off trying to figure out this mystery of Black Love, right? But the more we find out, the more I realize there's not really a mystery at all. It's more like it just shows you how complex people can be, how many signs they have.
It is, isn't it? We go into these online profiles thinking there's this one true self we're supposed to find.
Right.
But maybe it's not about finding the true self. Maybe it's more about just appreciating all those different sides that make up a person online and offline.
It's like that saying you can never really know someone else. But these days, with the internet and everything, it feels like we almost expect to. Just scroll through someone's posts and bam, you've got them figured out.
I know, right? And that expectation, it's exciting, but it can be a little dangerous too. It's cool to think we have all this information about each other, but we have to remember it's just a glimpse, a carefully chosen glimpse of the real thing. Even with all the digital trails we leave, there's still so much more to a person than what we see online.
And maybe that's a good thing. Maybe those missing pieces, those unanswered questions, that's what keeps it interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
And think about it. We started looking into Black Love because of that comment about AI profiling, remember?
Yeah.
We wanted to see if their online life really matched up with who they were. But maybe the real lesson is this. Trying to put someone in a box, trying to label them based on what they do online, it's never going to work. Because people, even the ones who seem totally ordinary, they're always going to be more complex and interesting than what their internet activity shows.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It's a good reminder. To approach these online interactions, how we see other people online, with a bit of curiosity and a willingness to accept that people can be complicated.
Well said. So Black Love, if you're out there listening, thanks for taking us on this digital adventure, even if you didn't mean to.
You're here.
And to everyone listening, remember, every click, every comment is a chance to show a different side of yourself,